Hello, everybody. Kelly Kleiman here with the Market Motivators Quickcast. And today on Market Motivators, I have the honor to chat with the owner of St. Louis's most iconic Irish pub, sports bar, restaurant, all rolled into one. If you haven't been there and you live in St. Louis, I suggest you jump into your ride and you hit the road because there's only one place to go. Eddie McVey, owner and operator of Maggie O'Brien's. Welcome.
Thank you, Kelly. Thank you for that great introduction.
Oh, yeah. It took me about 15 minutes to write it out, and I quoted Tower of Power, which I'll play on the way out of this interview. But Maggie's is St. Louis's oldest authentic Irish pub. True or false?
And that's true. It's the oldest one in downtown St. Louis. There are other locations, the Dogtown, which is a big Irish neighborhood. And then there's also like the Soulard area, just different areas of the St. Louis metropolitan area. There's some bars that are about as old as mine or maybe a little bit older. But we've been downtown as an Irish bar downtown since 1979. So we definitely are the oldest Irish bar in the downtown St. Louis area for sure.
Now, I know there's a backstory and the frequently told story. So how did Maggie's really get its name?
So Maggie's got its name from the original owner is Harry Belli, and he's a good friend of our family's. And he started Maggie's back in 1979. They were only open during the day while business people were down, and that's how it all started. He closed at like 6 p.m. just during the week, and he named the place after his great-grandmother and his grandmother. So it's his grandmother's last name, O'Brien, and it's his great-grandmother's first name, Maggie. So when we bought it, we being my brother Pat and I, and my Pat is no longer with us, but when we bought it back in, I guess it would have been March of 2007, from Harry, we didn't switch the name. Everybody thought we could, there's a lot of the McVeys here in St. Louis, so everybody thought we'd change it to McVeys and everybody would know it, but there was no reason to, because by that time, Maggie's had already been established for so long, everybody knew Maggie O'Brien, so, why reinvent the wheel? So we kept the name because we were always thought it was a great name. We were proud of it. I bus tables there and park cars there all the way through high school and college, and my brother Pat was a manager and a bartender there for almost 25 years, so it was just a natural fit for us, and that's kind of where the name came from and how we kind of rolled into it as Harry was ready to retire. He wanted it to be another St. Louis family that had it, and Pat and I were ready to go, so that's how it all happened.
That's a classic story. Fantastic. Thanks for sharing that with us. But the point is, you bought it in 2007, so you weren't always in the restaurant/bar business. How did you wake up one day and find yourself ensconced in one of the most competitive business segments in the world? What do you owe your success to? Location, menu, theme, all the above?
I guess you could say all the above. I'd say for sure the success is, without a doubt, was my brother Pat and the hard work, especially those first 4 years, and then all the people we've had work for us over time. That's been the recipe of the whole thing. It's good people, and people that, not only myself and my brother, but people that worked there that actually cared about Maggie's, and that the fact they worked there, they were proud of it, and it showed. And it slowly but surely just kept growing. And as far as how it all started, really, how did I find myself in it? I always knew, Kelly, I always knew I wanted to own a restaurant bar. I really did. I was one of those people, and I never was married, had no children, and I was working in a car business. That's how I knew Sean, and I was saving my money as a finance manager, and I knew when I got enough, I was going to go do something. Well, the money I saved, I thought I'd go open a shotgun tavern and maybe live above it. And, as a 30-year-old, you think that's a good idea. Yeah. And the money I had saved became the down payment for the bar. Harry approached my brother, and I said, listen, I'm ready to get out of this, and I know Eddie's looking for a place. Why don't you guys partner up and do this? So him and I talked, and the money I had saved to think I was going to own something became the money for a down payment to own something. And I'll never forget pulling away from there with my brother Pat. I was white knuckling, thinking, "What did we just do?" I couldn't believe it. I just wrote that big of a check for me at that time, and that was our down payment. And then we just moved on from there, and slowly but surely it came together. I don't know how to say it any better than that.
Great story. So what makes Maggie's iconic? And it really is. Let me tell you a story here. I was in the airport coming back to LA from St. Louis. We're here on the West Coast. And I saw a couple getting on the plane. They were wearing St. Louis Blues swag. And I asked them randomly, "Hey, do you ever go to Maggie O'Brien's?" And they replied, "Hell yeah, all the time." So I guess you are iconic.
Yeah, thanks for saying that. I've always said we used to have T-shirts made, Kelly, that said if you're from St. Louis, you got a Maggie O'Brien story. You know, I mean, I've had more people come in and want to buy a T-shirt or get a hat or whatever, and I always ask them over the years, "Hey, what are you getting this for somebody?" Well, my aunt's named Maggie O'Brien's, or I was conceived in your parking lot in 1985, or my mom and dad had their reception here, and I'm getting this for them for their. There's so many stories, so many great memories and things that are funny. And it's just been around and been that staple in the downtown, heart of downtown right there by Union Station for so long that everybody just knows it. And then, like I said, I think you put the good, and I really mean this, you put the good people from the ownership down. We've been so lucky with the people that have worked with us over the years. I'm telling you, and then try your very best to obviously give good service, but also have good food. At your, always trying to improve that at your best. So you're not going to hit a home run every time. You're going to miss it, but that don't mean you can't take that and learn from it and say next time let's adjust this, let's adjust that. And we always try to do that every day to try to say, okay, how can we make this a little bit better? How can we make this more ours instead of it just being another thing that's on the menu? And I think just over time, we just kind of became that thing to everybody now from different generations. You got people that were going there in 1979. Well, now they're grandparents, and now their 21-year-old kids are coming there. So I just think it's was a good fit, and it's a St. Louis thing, and it's a St. Louis family owned and operated. And I think people really, really can appreciate that.
Yeah, and your location is unbelievable. You're only 3 blocks away from the Enterprise Center, and the soccer stadium is going in across the street, literally 60 feet from your restaurant, from the pub.
Yeah, and you know what? And I people have told me, oh, but I don't pass anybody, Kelly, that doesn't say to me, boy, I bet you can't wait for that stadium. And I appreciate it, because people acknowledge it and they know. And I'd say 99% of those people are genuinely rooting for me and happy for me. But I also have people say, boy, you're lucky that's happening. And I'm not lucky because my brother and I stayed there when nobody else would have. We fought and found a way to make a living and wanted to be part of the city and be part of St. Louis, and that wasn't luck. We paid the dues when nobody else would have been down there. Now Union Station is owned by a St. Louis guy that's a great guy, Bob O'Loughlin, that's been nothing but kind to us. He's got the aquarium down there. He's got the wheel going. It's a great atmosphere down there. So that's been beneficial to us. And then they're building obviously the hockey games, the Cardinal games, the concerts. But then now you throw that soccer stadium and another great. Now those are 2 other great St. Louis families that are doing that. That's not out of town people. That's the owner, the Adams from the Enterprise, and then Kavanaugh from Worldwide Technologies. Those are St. Louis owned and operated businesses that are reinvesting in St. Louis, and I'm happy to be a part of it, or when I say a part of it, next to it. But it wasn't luck. It was a lot of hard work, and we stuck it in there. When I'm happy and proud to say that. I ain't saying it to be cocky. We stuck it around when a lot of people wouldn't, when they'd have ran. And so things are going in the right direction, and they should be, because St. Louis deserves it. Maggie's deserves it. My employees deserve it. And I'm just looking for great things to come.
Now we're going to get into the other location, which is Sunset Hills, but since I put this question ahead of that, I'm just going to stay with the script, and that would be, if you were in a battle of the restaurants, which item would you put in the center ring? You can only pick one.
Our Shamrock. If you're talking about an item like that we serve, is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
Yeah, I'd put our Shamrock Sandwich in there. We have a lot of good food, a lot of different kinds of food, a lot of sandwiches, different people. I got a lot of people that come in and they say, Eddie, every time I come in, I say I'm going to get something different, and I always get that same sandwich, whatever it might be. The smoked corned beef sandwich people love, the Dublin Dip people love, but our big one is the Shamrock, which is tenderloin medallion steak medallions on garlic cheese bread, and it's a slam dunk. We usually hit a home run with that one every time. So that would be the one I'd put up against most other sandwiches out there.
Yeah, I defaulted to the Dublin Dip. I was in the Sunset Hills location. Let's talk about that. It's the newest location. I had the good fortune, as I mentioned, of checking out a Dublin Dip. How long has it been open, and what makes it special and so much different than the downtown location?
So we purchased, it was previously an Irish bar called O'Leary's. It had been here in Sunset Hills for a long time. I can't say for exactly, but I'd say at least 20, maybe 25 years. but I wanted to keep the concept of Maggie's, and I knew it'd be a great footprint out here in Sunset Hills. I know a lot of people out here. Great, it's a great location, great people. So I thought I'd give it a try, and so in November 1 of 2017 was when we officially took over, and then made it Maggie O'Brien's. And it slowly but surely just kept grinding along, and over time we just keep getting a little bit better, and I'm happy. I'm very happy I did it, and I'm very happy to be part of this Sunset Hills community as well.
Now, you also have a new website that we had a little bit of input in. How's it going with that thing?
Oh man, it's just a home run. I mean, it's night and day. And, you know, Kelly, there's certain things when you're somebody like me, and I've told some guys I know that are business owners that are kind of like me, kind of old school, and they're not up to date on a lot of this stuff. And there's things good that go on that I don't even realize, you know, that you guys were able to optimize for us. I think you guys hit a home run with it. And once again, I see the same thing I was talking about with our food or whatever. You guys are there's constant communication on, okay, now this, so we're good. And now we're going live, we're good. But now how do we improve this a little bit here? Let's improve this a little bit there. You know, you guys are doing all that too. So every little tweak that might be there, we keep fixing along the way. So it just keeps getting better and better. So I couldn't be happier.
Well, that wasn't supposed to be a shameless plug. I was supposed to, oh, yeah, the website looks great. Hey, folks, check out Maggie'sO'Brien.com. That's all I wanted out of that one, but thanks a lot. We're also, right now, we're trying to deal with a little bit of the digital fallout from your phone over there, but I think we're going to, we've got your ear on screen, and it's an attractive ear, don't get me wrong, but we'll, hey,
Sorry
okay. Well, you do have a new killer website, and you've got an event section. So we've got two more questions, then we're going to let you roll. What are the top 3 events that are celebrated at Maggie's? I think I know what one of them is. It's coming up.
Yeah, you got it. So it's different at both places, but downtown definitely is a St. Patrick's Day, but it's not the St. Patrick's Day, ironically. The downtown has a parade day that goes right down Market Street, right in front of my place. And it's always the Saturday before actual St. Patrick's Day. So that's our biggest day of the year, because it just, we surround the outside and bars and food. The inside, we take every table and chair out of the place so that people, it's chest to chest in there. I mean, it's packed, and that's our big day. Our next one would obviously be then, of course, St. Patrick's Day, which is March 17th. Then it fluctuates, Kelly. In the old days, I could have told you exact, but as time's gone on, things have kind of rotated. So there's things like Guns and Hoses is a big event downtown St. Louis where they raise money for backstoppers, and it's where the firefighters fight the policemen, and it's at the Enterprise Center, and that's been a big day for us for a lot of years. The people come before and after. Then you got stuff like, obviously, if there's anything playoff wise with the Blues or the Cardinals. Yeah. Any of that kind of stuff, concerts, depending on who the concert is, it can just be, you know, all of a sudden you'll be like, why is this? Oh, Garth Brooks was here for 3 days. Why was this week so crazy? You know, so it's really kind of a moving target for us down there, you know. And then with Sunset Hills, it's a little different because it's more neighborhood oriented, but definitely St. Patrick's Day there. And we do really well there in Sunset Hills with like things like Easter, Thanksgiving meals, stuff like to-go meals and things like that. We sell a ton of that stuff. So we do really well with that as far as days where things are going on. St. Patrick's Day, and then anything sports-wise at Sunset Hills is big for us. So if the right team gets in an NCAA playoff or something like that, man, we're packed. Or the Super Bowl is the other big one here out in Sunset Hills. That's huge for us. So it's really kind of a little bit of a moving target. No doubt St. Pat's is the leader, though.
Last question for you. Where will you be in 3 years? Are you looking to franchise, expand out? What's going on? I'm open to everything, Kelly, but right now we got some renovations we're going to be doing this summertime at the downtown location to get us, you know, it's an old building, and with this soccer stadium being built, it really forced my hand to let's do some things down there. So we're going to do some renovations down there. So because of that, I'm not looking really hard at doing it. And I was looking for a third location before COVID, but then everything kind of changed, and obviously it kind of I refocused, I guess, on what I was doing. So right now I'm focusing on the downtown renovation a little bit, and then kind of go from there. But
anybody ever comes to me, I'm always open to talk about anything, and we'll see what happens. But in 3 years, I plan on being in St. Louis. I plan on being successful. I plan on being happy and being part of this great town.
I want to thank you for coming on, Eddie. I wish you all the best moving forward.
Kelly, thank you kindly. It's been a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Folks, Eddie McVey, the owner, the operator of Maggie O'Brien's in St. Louis. Get the spirit. That's all the time we have for now. I'm Kelly Kleiman from Market Motivators. Have a great day.